Alright, welcome back to episode number 7 here on the Decidedly Vanilla server. I'm your host, BJW, of course. Often just going by BJ. Depends on the day, I suppose. But here we are, back at North Haven still. But look at this. Look at how much we have done, man. Look at this. Is awesome. We have the pond is virtually done. It's a little harder to see because I've got shaders on down into the depths of the pond down there, but it looks really great. And I'm going to wait until I get that little cave thing done before I show you guys the bottom of the pond. And plus I got a bunch of coral and things like that I need to put down there and to gussy up the bottom of it a little bit before we start doing that. But I think we could do that in an episode together, you and me. We could do that, right? That would be cool. Anyway, I am getting over the very end of the flu. I have had the flu for the last like 3 or 4 days. I've been miserable, and just today my voice is starting to sound normal again, and maybe a little bit deeper, which is good, because if it sounds a little bit deeper, it sounds a little bit more like I'm on the radio, I think, right? I hope so. Anyway, so it's been a little fun getting over that. I've been wanting to record a DaVinci Resolve tutorial video that I have all mapped out and ready to go. I've been, I suppose the good thing about having the cold is it has given me a little bit of time to work on the Fusion, the DaVinci Resolve things. You guys are, the beginning of this video, the intro to it is new, and I keep tweaking it a little bit. The iteration that happened today, of course, is the latest version. And then, of course, you saw the little YouTube sting pop up there for the subscribe, and as it may be. I hope you guys, if you haven't subscribed, no, I'm not going to do that yet. I'll try to keep that to the end of the video. But anyway, I've been working on in Fusion and whatnot, so I've been wanting to do a tutorial for that, and because of this farkin' flu, I haven't been able to do that, so it's been a little bit of a drag from that standpoint. And then, of course, this video is probably 2 to 3 days late because of that, but as a result, we've done a couple of streams, which has been good. I did one on Wednesday, I did one earlier today, and oh yeah, I got the horsey out of there. I got him put into Germgy's building, so I'd quit running over him. But over there, Cirque did a bunch of work today on his stream. And if I have time at the end of this video, I might run over there really quick and show you guys all the cool stuff that he's got doing over there. I haven't promised to do Pigglesworth's graveyard there, and I haven't done that yet, so I need to get to that. But today, I have plans. I've got plans. As you can see, I've done a little bit of work up here. I've got the beginnings of the plaza laid out here. I'm still a little bit on the fence about materials. I feel like it's okay that I do cobble and stone next to the sandstone. I'm still a little bit on the fence. I started to build over there. I'll show you guys over there in just a minute, but I started building over here with this, and I think it's going to work. I'm just not sure. I got to find some way to introduce either a lot of spruce and a little bit of sandstone, or I don't know yet. I'm thinking that this building, or the buildings I'm going to build over here, and the buildings I'm going to build on the other side are going to be mostly spruce, but maybe with a stone or a sandstone base or something like that. I'm not 100% sure yet. But yeah, here I've got all the edges and everything for this are done. I've got this little overlooky kind of thing going on over here, where we got this kind of cascading over the edge here. A lot of fun doing this kind of stuff, terraforming. I'm kind of a landscape guy when it comes down to it, but also coming in here and changing some of this stuff up, getting the grass and the landscape into something a little bit more interesting and diverse, I think is a great way to really make your build stand out, using things that, you know, you look at this, it's like the materiality of this brown sandstone against the grass. They're very similar textures. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised at all if the texture that was used for the concrete came from the grass, just saturated differently. I don't know. Maybe I should ask Joppa. He would know. But here we come over here to the. I gotta get my directions correct before somebody gives me grief in the comments, because this is technically east, even though I thought it was north. I'm calling it North Haven. North Haven east is that direction, so north is that direction, and west is this direction. So on the west side of the lake, boardwalk. Boardwalk? Yeah, maybe. I'm gonna use that. Boardwalk. Pier. Yeah, no, pier? deck, boardwalk, one of those things. Anyway, on this side, it's going to be narrow as well. So we're going to have narrow on that side, narrow on this side, and I think these buildings are going to have this stone base. I started playing with the sandstone. I didn't like it a whole lot. So I think I might stick with stone and... Oh, I thought I heard creeper over there. Stone and spruce above. Spruce logs, spruce wood, maybe a little bit of the oak, dark oak, stuff like that. But I want it to be the same family, just to be a little bit different. But the sun's going down, so I guess we could sleep really quick while we're talking about this. But today, what I'm going to work on here shortly is... I've been talking to Pigglesworth about his flower farm and what we might be able to build over here between what I'm working on and his flower farm building. And what I think we've decided to do is we're going to put a couple of kind of stands up here, like a flower stand, and I think I'm going to have some like a steak stand and some meat and things like that that you can come in and you can, or other members of the server can come in and purchase things from. So sort of like having the big shops and things like that over at Mythical Sausages Village, but over here I think we want to have those as more like stands and things like that, which means we'll have to replenish them by hand rather than having automatically done things. But what I'm going to do in here then is this is going to be my steak shop, the meatitarium, the place where vegetarians don't want to come because there's meat for sale. Although the one thing that we can't sell in here, out of deference to our friend Pigglesworth, is pork. So I will probably have cows to start with. We'll see how that works, and I may add sheep, which I forget what sheep loins. Ooh, I forget what they're called anyway. Real talk now. This cold has really been frying my brain. That's one of the reasons I haven't done the DaVinci Resolve tutorial, because I started working on it, and quite frankly, my brain wasn't really functioning very well, even though I have a script for it, which I don't really script these typically, but that one I do need to. But anyway, so what I need to do for this episode is I'm going to dig out all of this area and get us prepped, and then we're going to come back and we're going to build the bones of the steak. The cow cooker, essentially, what it's going to do is cows are going to be in here. They're going to bob up and down, hit a button, bob, 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 and then we're going to feed them. And then their little babies are going to fall down into a little pit down below, where they're going to grow up, and then they're going to get cooked into some steak auto-magically. So it's not quite a fully automatic farm because there's not really any way to feed cows with wheat automatically, but it makes it a little bit easier if I can hit a button and feed them, which means we need to have in the neighborhood of 64 cows in this one little spot. So you can see I've got some breeding to do. I've got maybe 16 cows in there or something like that. So I got a lot more breeding I got to do, but I'll do that whilst I'm digging this out, and then we'll come right back. So I'm going to snap my fingers here. I'm going to turn around in a quick circle, and then we'll be right back. All right, we have it all dug out now, and I've got a good bit of stuff put back. By the way, this is the cow cooker that I did a tutorial on back in, gosh, it was like 3 years ago, February of 2016. It was back in 1.9 of all things, and things have changed a little bit since 1.9, but for the most part, this cow cooker still really works well. And so what I've done here is this is where the cows are going to go, and this is where the sheep are going to go in the future. I'm not going to build that in right now. I'm just going to make space for it so that when I'm ready to bring the sheep over and breed them up and put them in there, I've already got a spot for it. I don't have to worry about expanding this very much. But I'm going to go ahead and leave a link right up above and probably in the description to my tutorial. This was based a little bit on something that Tango Tech built, a little bit on something that A String from the island had made a quick modification to it that works really well that I've built on several worlds now, so I had to have one here as well. And I think I've even done this as a build on other worlds, but it's been a while, so I'm going to do it again because I can. So what we need here, let's see, I don't need oak. I got spruce trapdoors. What was that? Was that a... I hope that was a... I hope that was a bat. That kind of creeped me out a little bit. So, really quickly, the idea is, this is 5 blocks deep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This makes 6, and then 1 block up there is 7. So technically, if you had to excavate it out, it'd be 7 blocks deep by 4 blocks wide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 technically. So 7 by 7 by 4 for all intents and purposes if you wanted to build the double whammy. The single one that I built in the tutorial is actually a little bit narrower than this. I think it's like 5 long. So anyway, I'm going to put a couple of these guys up here. This isn't really a tutorial. This is more just building it together. But what I'm doing here is I'm building up this area so that regular cows will be, we're going to have between these 2 stairs, in fact I can just throw them in right now because I'm doing it with you, a couple of these guys, a couple of iron bars. Oh, I didn't want to go that way. Dang it. There we go. Let's get that out of the way. So the cows are going to be sitting on top of these, but there needs to be less than a block on the side so they don't slip through because they're 1 block tall. But it needs to be narrower than that so the babies will slip off to the sides. And when you have 64 cows up in here, the babies will slip off to the sides relatively easily. But we wanted to make sure it's not connected to this because for some reason when it's connected to these blocks, it doesn't work as well. So in previous versions, you could have stairs here with their backs towards it, but in this version, in 1.13.2, I'm hoping this is going to work. I had to point the stairs towards these so that they wouldn't connect. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, I suppose. And close this side off, close that side off. Let's go ahead and pick block these. Need a couple of stairs on this one. I'll leave that up there because that's where the dispensers are going to go. Pick block on that. Doot doot. So get those guys done. Now let me think about this for a second. So I think I'm going to be okay with 1 dispenser. Let me get the dispenser out of here. Let's see, observers, droppers, dispensers. I'm going to need a dispenser. Hopefully I can jump up here and have it not point straight out. There we go, that's good. There we go. Those are water. And I need lava. And I'm going to have the signs on that level, so the lava needs to be up here. Yep, that'll work. So we're going to have a lava blade come out of here that's below the cows that are jumping up and down up there, but 1 block above. There you are. Oh, no. I don't want you in here. I don't want you in here. Get out. Bat. I'm getting batty. But I need to have this level. Oh, I didn't want to put A on there. Why not? For these guys. I don't need that there. Need one there. Need one there. I want to be able to reach that. I'm going to have to move that so I can have access to it. So this will be the lava blade dispenser. It'll put lava out. I'm hoping it's going to come all the way over to this corner. I might, with this double wide, have to put another one in this corner. If I do, it won't be that big of a deal. I'll just have to come back and take care of it. Let's see. Oh, that's right. Where I was going to do glass blocks in here. Doot, 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 doot. Doot, doot. Yeah, I'll go ahead and fill that in now. And then I can go get that redstone if I need it. So that way I can put this on here, put that on there, that on there. There we go. And then I think I'm going to do glass here, stone there. And this is where the hoppers are going to come out, and they're going to tie into a hopper tower that's going to take it up there, or a dropper tower. And I think this should be enough. Let's go ahead and put in, we'll just put it to right there, because I can make it a little bit more compact than this, but I don't need it to be compact right here, so I'm not going to worry too much about compactness. Right now I just want it to function well. There we go. So now the cows will be hopping up and down. We'll feed them with wheat. The babies will drop down into here, and then they're just going to tool around in here until they grow up, and they'll grow up into the lava blade. Or I will just leave it, the lava blade turned off, and then occasionally turn it on. I think that actually finishes me off up in here, because the redstone for that's going to be back behind. This will be back behind. Oh, did I stop one short? Oh, I did, didn't I? Okay. I need to move this back one, because that is in the wrong location. So let's take this right to there. Badoop, badoop, badoop. Go ahead and fill this all the way up to there. So the reason I did that is because this is in the way, and I need that room for the babies to fall back in here. So I needed this extra space. But now I can do the dispenser into there. So my biggest worry right now is that I'm not going to have enough room, or that this is not going to be able to dispense 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks. In fact, I'm virtually positive that's not going to work. So I think I'm going to have to put another dispenser right in here. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and just drop it in there for right now. And then that way it'll be a little bit easier to mess with later. So we'll have 2 dispensers for lava, 2 dispensers for water. Get those up there. That looks pretty good. And then I'm going to have to put a couple of these guys, what are those, iron bars, up above so you can't fall into it. Yeah, that'll work pretty well. All right. Now I think we're ready to do some redstone. This will work, I think. We've got the two dispensers here facing the other side. You can kind of see the fences down there from the inside. And I've got a little bit of a redstone run here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a block on the back side of these guys. And then I'm going to power that block with some repeaters, like so, such, and so forth. And then when this powers this, it's going to push the pulse all the way through, hit this dust, and into that guy, just like that's going to work right there. And I think I've already got a stone up there. Yeah, let's hit that. There you go. Guys, sweet. We got two just clicked. Let's go up and put some water in those. Actually, the easiest way to get... Let's go ahead and take these guys out for right now. Let's get this in here. We'll put... Ooh, I need to get some water in these. First, let's go grab some water really quick. So I think this is a really simple build that I think works really well for survival multiplayer servers, actually. If you build this with two sets of cows on here, so you have cows in here and cows in here, and you could probably put, at least 64 in each one of them, so you'd have 128 cows. That means every time you came through and fed them, you would have a tremendous amount of steak for everybody. The only problem is, of course, it's not like a chicken farm where you can just let it go and not have to think about it. You actually have to come out and feed them every now and then. The other thing I think I'm going to do, actually, if I have time in this episode, I'll do it in this episode. If not, I'll do it in the next one, is, do I want to do it here? I think I'm going to do it down here inside this building. That would make actually a really good storefront for this one, too, would be a veggie shop. Kind of like the Etho one, the micro farm that Etho makes, but it doesn't work anymore, especially with 1.13 and 1.14. I don't think it's going to work either. In fact, I'm virtually positive it won't work in 1.14 because they fixed how Ethos works in that it's a dark block thing. So I found another design based a little bit off Ilmango's. Well, I shouldn't say based a little bit, based a tremendous amount off of Ilmango's, but I compacted it and made it as fast. You can't go any faster than Ilmango's does, but I made one that's a lot smaller. And I've thought about doing a tutorial for it. I just haven't done it yet. So we'll do it as a build instead. So now this should work. Actually, I probably should do it up here. Now that I have water in there, let's do that. There you go. Oh, sweet. Let's make sure it's not leaking down here. Oops. Keep jumping down there by accident. There you go. Working like a charm. And let's turn them off. Turns them both off. Perfect. All right. So we have water. What is with you and the bat brothers coming in here? Should I take you out? I feel kind of bad about it, but not really. I kind of wish bats drop something like wings, but they do not. Now I need to go get some lava, which I think I actually have some lava buried over in there, and put in both the dispensers and then wire those up really quick. Alright, there's some lava in that one, and there's some lava in that one. Now, that's neat. I just need to get some redstone wired up to these guys. I'm going to lower this down one, so there's not any conflict right there with the dust that's up on this other one. And I still have access to it, so it's a good kind of maintenance path for that. And it gives me access back here. Perfect. So we need a little bit of a repeater into that, and then how much? I've got plenty of redstone left. We'll bring this back over here. The challenge is going to be getting it over to this one, because, well, actually no, because I can bring this out as far as I want to, and all I need to do is get it into this block right there, because it'll pass it into that one, I'm pretty sure. Let's do this. Do I have any more buttons? Yep, let's do that really quick. And let's just test. Yep, sweet. This will actually be a good test to see if it comes all the way back here, which I don't think it will. Nope, it stops right there. Okay, that's exactly what I expected. Okay, we can break that up. That should stop that, is it? Yep, okay, that's doing a good job there. Now we just need to tie these guys together. And that should be enough. Yep, I heard them both go. Both coming out. Yep, Yes, it's working. We can kill cows now. Poor cows, I'm so sorry. But I do need to get the signals now up to here. So, interesting things. What can I do with this? So I could put a button here. And what I think I could do is I could actually use an observer to get down to this other one. Let's see if this works. We'll use an observer block right here. And this will give me a way to have these side by side, which would be nice. So if I did an observer block here, that would be reading. That would pass the signal down to here, which if I did that, well, that won't, well, I guess I can do two now that I think about it. If I could do it correctly. If I did one there and then I did another one there, there we go. That should work. And that shouldn't trigger, oh, for crying out loud, that shouldn't trigger the other one as well, which is my goal, is not to trigger both at the same time. I need to do it separately. So if I did this one with water and this one with, that should do water, okay. And I don't see any lava down there. Okay, how about this one? I was afraid of that. You know, sometimes I really just love the new stuff that they have come up with in this game. So one of the old things that I had on the old tutorial, of course, was you had to use buttons to trigger both of these. And even on the previous version, last season of Decidedly Vanilla, when I had something similar to this, I had buttons for it. Oh, that's interesting. I wonder what that little smoke is. That must be a torch I have under there. That's kind of cool. But what with the new observer block, what I found was that I could actually use trapdoors. Watch this. That just triggered all of that. I think that's awesome. I hope I didn't trigger one of those guys. I feel like that's triggering maybe another one of these. I might have to make sure. Is it this one? Yeah. Oh, yep. I just because I powered that, so I got to put this here. But I've got I've got another one there, so I'll put a couple more in here to help spread it out, so it's a little bit less obvious. But now I can hit that one, and it turns on the lava down below. And then when I flip it up, and the other good thing about that too is it'll keep me from leaving this on, because if I leave it on, then it leaves a little gap in there, and I'll be paying a little bit more attention. So there we go. The redstone is complete for this guy. Now all I have to do really is get all the cows from there. I got to keep breeding them for a little while and get them into here, and that should have this working now. So now we have the dispensers from both ends with the lava for the lava blade. We have the dispensers up here with water to make the cows jump. And then what I did is I have this one right here is the lava. So it comes down, it triggers this one, which triggers this one. These are both observer blocks, and then turns on this down here. And then I left the stone button so that I could trigger it from down here if I wanted to. Say I come down and I see a bunch of cows in there, I can trigger it from down below if I want to. And then I've got another one where I've got the trapdoor right there, and there's another, let me see if I can get over here. Yep, here's an observer right here, and I had to make sure that there was a big enough gap here so it doesn't trigger this one, which there is. There's two. But what observers can do is they can read the signal from the side of the other observer. So I was able to put one here that's reading off the side of that one, and thus triggers this, which does the dispenser there, and then sends the rest of the pulse down to this one. So observer blocks for the win. It's pretty much ready to go, except for the fact that I need to get some cows into there and get them breeding. And I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to call the episode right here. This is episode number 7. Really, I just wanted to get this done for the most part. Next episode 8, we're going to go ahead and build the building around this. Get all the shop done down here for it. Maybe even get a villager in here or something like that as a butcher. Yeah, that'd be actually great to get an actual butcher and put him in here. That'd be nice. And then we'll have hopefully 2 episodes of Decidedly Vanilla next week. That's what I'm shooting for. I'll have this one and then a second one towards the end of the week. would be ideal, along with a tutorial for DaVinci, and then I'm also doing a tutorial for the sugarcane farm. So those guys will be coming out really soon, and I hope you guys are able to check those out. So thank you all very much for watching. I really appreciate it. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video with my new sting, if you liked the video, maybe give it a thumbs up. If you liked it even more than that, subscribe. I would really appreciate it. And we will see you guys in the next episode of Decidedly Vanilla. All right, bye-bye.